What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast. And tonight, I will not be playing my idol for myself, even though I can only play it one of the next 2 weeks. My name is Randy Bruce, and today I am joined by... Oh, you're not in a bad mood anymore? You were doing the whole... I am joined by Eric Abraham from season 41. Abraham, I'm done.
Look.
I'm done. Take it away. Take it away.
Man, you know what? This has been the worst season for idols. Why are you putting all the effort in trying to find an idol on the island? When Q said it takes forever, it takes forever. Why are we not playing them? It's taking forever. They're not finding these idols in 30 minutes. They're looking for them. And nobody this season has played the idol correctly. But let me tell you what they have been doing. Blindsiding the blind out of everybody. Look, everybody getting blindsided. Hey, let me add it. Let me add a little more backstage information. I see how Maria was torn up about a letter, but you still get your letters. They don't just say, "Oh, you didn't make it on the show." No, we still get our letters and stuff that were written for us.
I was going to say, Abraham, you owe me an apology because on the pre-show, you said I'm never right about anything. Now, yes, I said Maria was going to go home, and I was wrong about that. But I also called that there was going to be loved ones' letters, and I was right
about that one. Yeah, I mean, something bad.
I'm right about stuff here and there. If you are joining us, make sure to hop in our live chat. We like to call it Ancient Voices. Jay has already jumped right into it. 4 in a row. Cancel Christmas. Yes, well said. Join into our live chat. If you enjoy our content, hit that like button. It helps us in the algorithm on YouTube get found. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this the next day on Spotify, leave us a rating. We really do appreciate it. Abraham, there was a lot to talk about. We talked about on the pre-show about how this cast has been a little messy and there's been a lot of emotion. But we can start with the fact that 4 straight weeks of people going home with idols in their pockets. And I saw this on X, and this was a very, very interesting fact. A third of this cast has left with an idol in their pocket. If you include Randon, who was medically evacuated. So Randon went home with an idol. Then Jim went home with an idol. And then the 4 weeks in a row, you've had Tiffany, Hunter, Venus, and now Q going home with idols in their pockets. So Abraham, my friend, is it Jay saying right here the idols are cursed? What is causing these players not to play their idols? We know it's, look, maybe I can get it one more round. Maybe I can just hold on to it one more round. In Q's perspective for this episode, he really thought he had Liz. He really thought he had Kinsey, and he was looking at it. If I can make it one more round, I can play it and guarantee myself the final 4. The key to that, you have to get to the final 4 to guarantee it. Huge mistake here from Q. Oh, you're muted, Abraham. Here, help him out. Oh, you're still muted, Abraham.
That's because you muted me when I unmuted myself. Here's the thing about was Q play, which is a little different from the other plays. Q thought he had Maria, which he did, but he put trust in 2 people that have been voting for him the entire time. There was no trust to be in Liz. Now, Kinsey already said she wasn't going to be bothered with you. So understand, they hadn't changed who they were. So you should always be on the lookout for him. And he was like, if I go ahead and play it now, I'm still going to be in a situation next. But Charlie's gone. So now you got to decide, okay, is it, I would have played and said, okay, we already want to get Charlie out. I want to make sure Charlie gets out, and I'm going to have to fend for myself on the next one. But here's where it comes in where people don't win any challenges or don't try to win something because now you're kind of stuck. So Q was like, well, I can make it one more time, and then that will get me into 4. But that still doesn't get you into 3. That only gets you into 4. So at the end of the day, play your idol. At least if you play your idol and blindside somebody, you can get some satisfaction in that you got somebody, which they would have voted Charlie out. But I just do not see how he thought that Kenzie and Liz was going to be on his side or Ben.
I was also very confused about that. I was very confused why he thought Kenzie, of all people, was by his side, because as you stated, Abraham, Kenzie literally said earlier on in the season when Q kind of pissed her off that she was done. I'm done working with you. And we just haven't seen through the edit any moment that kind of gave us that inkling that she was ready to work with you again. We certainly haven't seen it from the perspective of Liz. So this is, Jay added in the chat. I saw Abraham instantly was like, what the hell? Only seeing you, Randy. We're trying solo layout. We're testing it out.
We'll be tweaking stuff. We'll be tweaking
we're testing out some features here. But yeah, so I agree with you 1,000%. The moment he said, I know for a fact I have Kenzie and I have Liz, I was like, where are you getting this? We're talking Kenzie, the same person who came from, sorry, it's been so long since the tribal part of the game, from Yanu. Kenzie's been with you from Yanu, and you worked together to start the year, but she has told you straight to your face, she's done. She's done. She doesn't want to work with you anymore. Where do you think she's getting that, rekindling of energy from? It was very shocking, and I think a bad read from Q. But the other thing, Abraham, and I don't know if people in the chat can agree with me, you were very high on Maria. Maria, if she wins immunity, if she makes it past this episode, she's winning the game. I think this was checkmate from Charlie. We saw all episode long. It was Maria versus Charlie. Maria's going after Charlie. Charlie going after Maria. And look, I thought it was a very poor move from Maria. She knew the vote was going to Q. Charlie said, look, we're voting Q. Obviously, she felt that Charlie was mistaken. That's what he was being told. She also felt like they had Liz and Kenzie. But still, in that moment, I would tell Q, even if there's a chance, hey, I would play your idol tonight just in case they're lying to us. This was an opportunity for Maria to take full charge of the game and become the sole survivor, and this is a missed opportunity. And in the end, if Charlie does make it to the end somehow, he can use this against Maria. Look, I know you and Q were close. I fooled you. I got Q out. I couldn't get you out. I got your closest ally out. So this is a checkmate from Charlie here in this situation.
I mean, you know what? If we look at this episode from the start to the finish, man, it was a good episode. It started off with something that we remembered, the love letters from home, which used to be the family visit. So I think the build up to it helped Charlie more than it helped Maria. It helped Maria on the tail end because my perfect scenario was Q finds the idol, Maria wins. So it worked out. I'm like, okay, y'all got a perfect setup. And the thing about it is for future Survivor players, if you're out there in the woods, man, you getting bit, you getting stickers, you getting spiders, you getting all that kind of stuff on there. Use your idol right. Play it. At least if you play it, you got a chance to take somebody out. So if you know the votes are coming for you, like Venus should have known what was coming for her. And you know what she said? They're not going to get me this time. What'd they do? Vote them out. What Tiffany said, I'm going to hold on to it one more time. What happened? She get voted out. Hunter was like, I got an idol. I'm going to play it. I need to play it. Next thing you know, he out. So here's the thing. If you got an idol, you share it with somebody, you need to play it. So pick it where it works at. But I think the immunity, the awards challenge was a better awards challenge. Thanks for going back to the sanctuary, but at least we're getting some better food. So
yeah, we're definitely going to get to talking about all the challenges. Let me get to some of these comments here. Jay adds in, and we talked about this earlier, Abraham, and we can kind of build off this. Survivor 47 and 48 players are going to play their idols as soon as they find them. That's 6 people have left with idols in their pocket. 5 of them got voted out because they didn't play their idols. I do think this is going to carry on to future seasons. You know, Survivor is a game that is always changing based off the players the cast that we get, the players who go out there, and how they see the game played. This is going to stick with the new castaways going out there for future seasons. The idols are. What'd you say?
Put them to that shot in the dark.
This is going
Is
to
that
end
still
up
there?
being, Abraham, you find an idol and you play it immediately. And honestly, it might end up Survivor might have to get involved and be like, start planning idols where the directions say you can't play this over the next 2 tribal councils just to get players to hold on to it. Because I do think in 47 and 48, we could see a lot of people just burn them immediately.
No,
I found this
they
idol.
did that.
I'm not going home.
These idols been phased in. The first phase of idols was you found something which was a clue to an idol. Then you had to go, if you didn't go to tribal council, you couldn't get the next clue to the idol. You couldn't get the clue until you went to the tribal council. So when you look at it from that perspective, I think they're doing great by presenting these actual idols. And that first phase of it, before you become, when you're 3 tribes, is a different phase of idols. Now, we've seen now where people go home, you didn't know the idol wasn't there. Nobody knew Venus had idol because she didn't share it. So now you're out there looking, Q finds it in the most obscure place ever in a log.
They're making it look easy. They're making it look easy to find the idols. I know it's not, but they are making it look easy.
For all your future players, it's not. You're going to spend some time looking for it, but it's worth it. Now, if you find it, which they did, you got to know how to play the idol. And I think it's just a matter of this season here is everybody's trying to get one more tribal council and hold on to it. When you feel comfortable, that's when you need to play your idol because somebody's coming for you.
We have a very active chat today and love seeing this. Nikki adds, season full of people who don't know how to play Survivor. None of them can read the room. I have heard this. A lot of people, even though everyone's enjoying the season, a lot of people are saying this is one of the worst gameplay seasons ever in terms of just how people are building relationships. Like people are very harsh this season. They're very emotional this season. They're not making the smartest reads, in terms of, if you compare this to the new era seasons, I do think it's one of the best. I think it's been in terms of entertainment. But if you look at the cast, this might be the worst cast in terms of strategic play. It's been a very messy season.
Because think about it. They haven't played the idol in the way we would like them to play, to make the game more spicier, to get somebody blindsided. But everybody's been bloated out, been blindsided. Nobody knew it was coming. Name one player that knew they were about to get voted out. Mariah might have been the only one that was coming. Yeah, Bono knew he was coming. My bad. Bono, he might have known he was about to get voted out. But Mariah was on the cut, and she was like, I know I'm on the chocolate block. I'm in the middle. Outside, I think everybody's been blindsided successfully.
It's been a heavy blindside season. Yeah.
Not to play their idols, and they all got blindsided. So it's one half is saying you didn't play the idol like we would like you to play it. But at the same time, everybody got voted out with blindsided. So nobody was sitting there saying, I'm comfortable. I'm not going to play my idol. They were like, I can get one more tribal council out this idol. Tiffany started it because Tiffany was like, I want to get rid of this idol. And then Q didn't even have an idol to this time, and he been playing the whole time. Q ain't did nothing.
It's the end of the Q skirt.
Let me tell you something. The editing was, Q said, if I feel something's wrong, I'm going to play my idol. I looked at that tribal council. I felt a lot of stuff wrong. I'd have been up there like, hey, Jeff, here you go. Now,
it would have been a very, very big move. A few other comments that we have. Nikki said, how was your trip last week? We missed you. Thank you. We missed you guys. We were excited to get back. Abraham had fun. I didn't go on my trip. I was supposed to go to Chicago for RHAP. I got extremely sick. I was devastated. I wanted to go so bad. Kinsey said, hell yeah, this episode was great. My predictions are holding up. If you remember, Abraham, Kinsey said that Q was going tonight. So far, her predictions are absolutely true. Let me see if there's any other. Kins also adds in, they have only shown single vote a handful of times in 46 seasons. Every time was when a stupid move was about to be made. Eric giving immunity, for example. It was clear to me Q wasn't playing it because they showed every single vote tonight. I thought it was still good. I get what you're saying, Kins. I also had a feeling he wasn't going to play it, but I still liked it. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, ooh,
he's about to play it. We about to get this thing. It's about to be bust wide open.
I agree with you, Abraham. You said that you were feeling something was off in the room. I was feeling like, and granted, that was in a short 10-minute edit. We're not even talking about the entirety of Tribal Council. which is hours long. Like, surely you had to hear something. For me, it was when Jeff looks at everybody and says, it's been a theme this season where people have been getting blindsided. That would have been my cue to play it, because, hey, get it? Cue. That would have been my cue. No, that would have been my cue to play it, because he's kind of insinuating like it could happen again. And the other thing with Q is, even if you want to hold on to it for one more tribal council, because it's only good up until the final 5, you've seen 3 straight people. Yes, he didn't know about Venus, but he knew about Tiffany and might have known. Yeah, he knew about Hunter because Hunter told everyone. Yeah. So you've seen at least 2 of the last 3 people go out with idols in their pockets. I'm sorry if that's me in that situation, and I'm not judging Q. You're out there, you're in the moment. I get it. But if that's me, I'm playing it solely because I saw 2 other people leave with idols in their pocket.
Let me tell you something. If I can get from 6 to 5, and I got to play my idol to get from 6 to 5, I'm playing my idol. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna burn my idol. At least I get 5th place. Let me tell you, 5th is better than 6. I would have burnt my idol, played it. I would have teamed back up with Maria. We'd have fought for see who's gonna win the next immunity challenge. Whoever win the challenge, because right now you'll be down to 5, so you only need 3. So now you're saying, okay, Charlie's gone. Now it's like, okay, who's going to be picked off? Who's going to be the one to pick off? You have
Ben, and he even said, "I'll play this." He even said, "Maria, I'll play this for you. Like, if one of us wins immunity, I'll play it for the other person." It was the perfect situation. Maria won immunity. You could have played it for yourself. You have Maria in your back pocket, and you just got to assume that Ben is with you in that instance as well.
If Maria don't win Survivor, the rest of them can kick rocks. Because they ain't do nothing. They just played the game. They wasn't. Where's the spark at? What spark did they bring to
it? You got to give credit to Charlie, because that's our next topic, Abraham. This dynamic.
We're talking about if Charlie gets voted out.
Okay, you're talking if Charlie gets voted out.
Then Maria gets voted out. Then it's like, where's the spark? Now we just giving out. We're giving out all awards for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. No. I want to see somebody that's in there playing and fighting and wants to win the game of Survivor and making some moves somewhere in the game. I just don't see it in the last 3 of it. 3 of them, I'm like, they just playing. They just
there's an interesting dynamic tonight, Abraham, and it sets up a huge showdown next week for the finale. And I know everybody is looking forward to it. We've seen Charlie and Maria play all season together ever since their time on Sega. That was the Green Tribe, right? I'm not mixing up tribes. Yeah, it was Sega, I believe. I want to make sure I'm not mixing up tribes from a different season.
Yeah, Sega's green.
Sega, yeah. So we saw them work
on the Survivor Now podcast. We got notes.
We saw them work together ever since their days on Sega. We saw that flashback tonight where they were talking about, oh my gosh, we can be the Malcolm and Denise. I love how Charlie said, this time I want Malcolm to come out on top, because obviously Denise ended up winning that season where they worked together. And there was a lot of key moments tonight. It started off, I think, as soon as the episode aired, where Maria is battling with how Venus kind of went at her at the last tribal council. She felt like her character was in question. And then it carried on through Charlie winning the reward, having to choose who gets those loved one letters. And that's the hardest reward to choose on Survivor, in my opinion, because I was kind of thinking through this, and I'm like, part of me would want that food, especially if I haven't ate anything, if I haven't been on a reward. But the other part of me would be like, I feel like I can go that time without hearing from my mom, especially if there's only 5 days left. Like, my mom is everything. My mom would write me, and I'm a mama's boy. And I feel like I could go those last 5 days. I feel like that's not something I need, where I do want the food, but I almost feel like in that situation, and obviously it's different. Charlie might be in a different situation. I'm not a big family guy. So I feel like in that situation, I would be like, Jeff, can I sit out and especially if there's, hold on.
Randy Bruce.
Hold on. If there's 6 people left and 3 of them are parents of children, I feel like I would sit out in that moment and be like, I'm going to let the parents go. This is something I don't need.
I'm gonna need y'all to edit this out. Oh, you are the editor. Here's the thing. You missing the other key point of winning a reward. He wouldn't have been able to strategize with Liz and Kenzie. So
no,
as
I
much
get
as
that.
there are letters in there, there's also food, but there's also the part you need to strategize. And if you pick the right people, you can strategize without having somebody looking over your shoulder, which he said. So here's the thing about it is everything in this game Survivor is strategy. So you're not saying, hey, I don't want to go eat, unless the 3 people that you're sending in your place are the 3 that you want to sit over there because you need to talk to the other ones. Or like when he came back to camp, he said, hey, Maria, I wanted you to be back here looking for the immunity idol.
Yeah,
But
so they
also,
can't find it, yeah.
Also, they'd already agreed that they would never pick each other for an award challenge. You know what? And that's the best way to play. Look, let's not get touchy and feely about this. If you win, don't pick me. If I win, I'm not going to pick you because we just don't want to do that. And that's good gameplay. That allows you to play the game without having to feel like you've done your partner wrong. Because there's a lot of ones they break up because they don't get taken on a reward. They'd be like, so it's like that.
It's incredible gameplay. I was just saying from my point of view, this is the one reward. This is the one reward that I would be like, I'm going to give it to the parents. I'm not judging Charlie whatsoever. I'm just saying what I would do because you have 5 days left. And yes, I haven't been out there. I haven't experienced it. A lot of people, they're like this with their family. I got my mom, I got my brother. That's it. I don't have a big, like super, super, super close family. So I feel like in this instant, I would be like, I feel like 5 more days. Who was the one who stepped out? They were like,
no. But here's the thing.
I was thinking
when Charlie read that letter from home, they gave him that extra boost.
It did. It gives you an extra boost. I just feel like I could go 5 extra days. Like
it's not the letters. It's the whole game and how it impacts the game. That's why they save it to the end. Because that might be the letters you need to push you over the edge or take you to these last 5 days. It's a lot with that actual letters. And when it used to be the family visits, you got to use it to get to the end. Charlie benefited from it because he went in there and read those letters. He was like, okay, I'm ready. I can get this done. And again, they went out to Q and they got Q out. So here's the thing. It's more than just a meal and some letters. It's a whole part of the game that you got to play. But, I was just like, it's a lot of them. People don't think, and Charlie made a good point. People don't think it's as emotional as it is when you're sitting there reading letters from home, and it's like you said, it's only 26 days. You was just at home. It's not even a whole month.
Yeah, it's not a month. People go off to college and don't see their families for 4 or 5 months at times. Like
but you're like, I'll be back in 26 days basically, but no. Survivor has a certain level of emotional attachment to it that none of us can avoid.
I also feel, Abraham, you also, sorry to interrupt, you also have to add to the point. These castaways, I know a lot of times people are like, why are they crying so much? You've only been away from your house for 20 days and stuff like that. There's no context. So I fully understand why they get emotional in those moments. You have no idea what's going on back home. A lot of times you have a lot of like silent reflection. There's a lot of times on the island that, we only see an edited show for about an hour and a half. There's so many times you're just sitting on the beach and your mind is just killing you. And like, what could be happening back home? Oh, I wonder about this situation. Oh, I forgot this person was about to have a baby. I wonder what's going on with that. And so I understand in that moment of like, seeing those, you want a connection because you have no connection. You have no idea what's going on. Your brain is running through a million situations about what could be happening back home.
Think about Kenzie. Kenzie said, my fiance moved our wedding date. It wasn't no guarantee that she was going to be there to read that letter. But again, she read the letter and she said she got a business back there. She started doing her business and working herself when she was 15. You got to push all that stuff out of your mind and say, okay, I'm here for one sole purpose, to win Survivor, to be the sole survivor. That's it. Mm-hmm. And you got to focus in on that and you got to stay focused. Now, I want to talk about, not to get too far, but about Ben and his night terrors.
Oh, I mean, it's a great time. It was a very emotional episode. We talked about how Maria struggled and we started tonight with Ben too. And this was a key moment because we also saw Ben and Kinsey kind of had that interaction of like, who wrote my name down? Ben came out, Kinsey, it was me. And he said, look, I picked a name. It was accident. She's like, how do you write my name down by accident? But I thought this was a really cool moment. And honestly, Kinsey has become one of my favorite castaways of the new era. Like, I love Kinsey so much. And we saw Ben again. This is something that happened earlier on in the season when he woke up with his anxiety, and we saw Kinsey stay up with him and, get the fire going. And she's kind of been that beam for him to kind of lay back on, or lack of a better analogy. She's been there for him. And it was a really real moment seeing him. Once again, he's talked about how he's really, really been struggling, and he's really fighting to get to the end, but it's really starting to take a toll on him. And Kinsey is still there for him, even though he wrote her name down and everything. She's like, there's still a human element. So I'll let you take it away, Abraham. Yeah. But I love that you brought this up.
If you're not used to being in the middle of the woods at night, the way it's filmed is look like you can see. They can't see. The camera people can see. They can't see. So there's no fire. It's going to be pitch black, or whatever light you get from whatever fire that you make. That is it. It's pitch black out there. So there's a certain element of I can't see more than a couple of feet in front of me. Because I remember one night I woke up and the fire was going out. So I walked down to the beach because I knew it was wood down there, but I couldn't tell what I was picking up. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pick it up. I'm just going to walk down here. I couldn't see anything. I don't think the moon was out that particular night. It was a little cloudy. So I can understand how he would wake up disoriented, thinking he's one place or thinking of something, and you get there. And then, you know what? Coconut is fine. For months after that, I wouldn't eat coconut. Coconut water, whatever. But that's not a sustainable meal for a period of time. Your body starts to shift. Your emotions start to change. So, but I like what Kinsey said. This is just a game. And if he needs me to be there for him, I'm going to be there for him. And that's the real Survivor. That's the real part of the game that people don't get to see. They get to see the snippets and they get to see what people say about each other. But sometimes they don't see us after the game and see us interact with each other and be like, we knew it was a game because we knew exactly what we were doing. At the end of the day, we're going to be friends for life. And I think Ben and Kinsey are going to be one of those two where they're going to be friends for life, bonded off the show. But other people look at it and be like, hey, you hate him? No, you wrote my name down. No, that was just part of the game. Ultimately, those moments that we share with each other is going to be more important, which is kind of cool because we get a chance to see more of that with camp life, which I'm grateful to see that extra hour and a half. Now we get to see more of a camp life. You get to see those interactions. You get to see Maria understanding that she couldn't go on a reward, but understanding that she still would miss her sons, which are they look cool people too. I bet them in Dallas. To see them, seeing them, and now seeing what they in writing letters to their mom and whatnot is one of those moments that's a part of the game as well. But at the same time, emotional, you're gonna feel emotion. So if you ever go out there thinking, "Oh man, I'm not gonna feel anything," no, it's gonna creep up on you. Next thing you look around, you have your TV.
And I feel like this cast has been one of the most emotional casts that we've seen in a while. I mean, take it back to everyone's going to roll their eyes, but take it back to Banu and how much of an emotional player that he was. And then you have Randon, who is genuinely just heartbroken that his time is over and it's getting ripped away from him. And then you have, the whole relationship that we had with Venus and Soda. That dynamic where it's almost like sisters and arguing, but they love each other. And how many times we've seen Liz blow up because of a reward. We saw
Lynn's winning this year for the most emotional outburst of any player on the Game of Survivor.
We saw Maria today literally had to turn away and say, she went back to camp and just the emotion started pouring out about, I can see them writing these letters. That's what's killing me. And then obviously everything that's happened with Ben, it's been a very emotional season. Yes, the strategy hasn't been the greatest at times, but you can't deny the fact that these castaways are playing with their heart on their sleeves and giving it all they've got this season.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the players, but I also know what it takes to be standing out there or sleeping out there or looking for an idol. So everybody plays the game of Survivor. All we're talking about is who we should think win based off of gameplay. But it's not for the faint of heart. You know, we must give a moment of thought for Liz and her allowing herself to, do what she had to do to get her body back.
Hey, I totally forgot about that moment. I was too wrapped up in that. What'd she say? She said, "Hey guys," she walks up, she goes, "Hey guys, I had a BM." And at first it took me a second. I was like, BM? What? Oh, I see what she's saying now.
What's funny? So, but before we go to the island, they say, okay, here's your options. T1, T2. If you do T1, don't do it around the camp. T2, here's the thing about it is, I'm not differentiating between what it is. Location is what I'm differentiating.
Aquadome. You just do the aquadome.
But here's the thing about it is, the water is constantly moving. This is not like where the water's like, hey, you sit down and it's comfy and it's no.
You think I'm gonna care if my turd washes up? I don't care.
Hey, you like this? Ow! You back? I'm back.
All right, look. I gotta move on before we lose Abraham here. We got some comments that I've been meaning to get to. Ken's adds in, and now Kinsey is expecting her first baby in September. So happy for them. So yeah, no, I got you, Abraham.
Got me. I'm back.
Yeah. So congratulations. I know we brought that up earlier. Kimberly adds in, my boys are back. Talking about you and me, Abraham. We took a week off. And Abraham's not going to be here next week, but I do have.
I'm gonna pop in. I'm gonna pop in for probably the pre-show.
Probably the pre-show. We'll have him on, but I have something planned. I have to reach out to somebody, but I have something planned for everybody next week. And then Ken's also adds in, I love a genuine human moment. And before we go to commercial, Abraham, we're going to talk about these challenges right after commercial break and the outcome. But I got a very quick question for you before I send us to commercial. From our good friend Eli. Abraham, would you add any sauces/spices to your Chinese takeout on the island? Or is it too risky? Any chili oil? That's what they had today. They had that Chinese. Liz finally got to eat. Thank God.
So here's the thing about your body, if you don't know. Coconut, and we had crab legs, but it literally was like this big. But anyway, your body will be impacted if you haven't eaten. And I think they're at least up to day 23. Was it day 23 now?
Yeah, day 23. Yeah.
Day 23.
Day 22, I think. Yeah.
22. And Liz, she was killing it. She was killing it. Let's just say when she gets back, she's going to have some quality time to herself. We're going to put it that way.
She's going to have some more BM. I'll leave it at that. We'll be right back. When we come back, Abraham and I are going to break down the two challenges, the reward challenge and a brand new Survivor puzzle that we've never seen before, and I loved it. We will be right back.
Welcome, everyone, to Expedition Online Season 6.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Queen's Army.
We've got King George and Queen Sandra.
I'm starstruck right now.
Everybody looks ready? In 3, 2, 1, go!
These questions are hard.
Ooh, Kara gets the first one.
Go! I feel bad throwing out names, so I will gladly go if anyone has any ideas.
Sandra is voting for Amy.
She is.
What about Eli? What if we just blindside his ass?
For you and I, keeping our names at a conversation and then having these quick check-ins.
I feel so stressed. My arms are so sweaty.
Got another twist coming in today.
Holy shit.
Now you gotta switch into game mode. Use your emotions, use who you are.
Take every opportunity.
I promise you, I do not have the compass. Swear I don't have it.
Okay, you have a minute. We gotta vote someone.
The fact that my name was even in your mouth.
You say something in my web of people, it's coming back to me.
Don't ever be too comfortable in the game.
Glory or death.
To the end.
But most importantly, play to win. And take out King George's faithful soldiers, boo.
Said play to win.
Expedition Online, the premium online game. I believe they're heading into their finale next Monday night at 9 p.m. So make sure to tune into that. Yours truly, right here, might be a guest and give my thoughts of what I thought about the season. I got to catch up. I'm a little behind. But Abraham is also, we didn't get to it earlier, Abraham. You're doing a online reality game this weekend. You're doing, what are you doing again?
Hold on. Here it is. I am doing Survivors Vanquish fans versus favorites.
You get to play with Raymond. How cool is that? You don't even know Raymond. You didn't watch Survivor Australia this year, did you?
No, I looked at some of it. Not all of it. Not all of it, Raymond. But I don't know.
Wait, did you
start it? I don't know about Friday. Huh?
Did you actually start Survivor Australia?
Yeah.
What are you thinking so far?
Dude, I love Survivor Australia. I just don't try to compare it to U.S. Survivor. But if I had the opportunity, I would be in Australia. Giving them the business.
They might be doing Australia versus America.
They give you. Let me tell you something. I may be giving them the business, but they're gonna be giving me the business because that's some work right there. Australia is way more physical than the U.S. and I love the physicality of it, but they you know what? Their reward challenges are way better than ours too. But
yeah, I love you can't get me into Abraham, that I think Survivor Australia is way superior personally. But let's get back to Survivor US, Survivor 46. We had 2 challenges tonight. Reward challenge, obviously the prize was a Chinese takeout and letters from home at the sanctuary and all that. This was a fun challenge, I thought. It was I love how Ben in the moment was like, God, I suck at this. It was him and Kenzie in the back, and Kenzie finished and was like, all right, best of luck. And Ben's just struggling. But we got down to it was the normal puzzle. We've seen this. It was that maze where you have to kind of get the ball to the end and around. We've seen it before, but yeah, a lot of close calls. I feel like I would suck at that challenge, honestly.
Well, because you get nervous. I mean, basically, whoever slows down wins the challenge. You have to slow down and just say, okay, I'm going to do it on my time and not look at anybody else. That's really how you do it. But you know what? Everybody kind of just – here's the thing. This is the beauty of Survivor. No matter if you're dead last, you can still win. Because if Kenzie had gave up, she would have never been in there even competing against it. But if Ben had gave up, he would have never been in there competing. But even if you're dead last coming through the obstacle part and you make it to the challenge, you can still win the challenge. And you know what? That's the best thing about Survivor right there. Anybody can win. But let me tell you something. Well,
Charlie wins this one, and then we can go to the immunity challenge. I forgot to say this earlier. I was actually going to lead off the show with this. When we had last week, when we had the 4th person go home with an idol in their pocket, that was a Survivor record. 4 people getting voted out with idols in their pockets. That's in one season Survivor record. That record went up when we had the 5th person this episode. So now the record is 5 people in one season getting voted out with idols in their pockets, which from what I...
Wait a minute. So the idol comes back.
Maybe.
One more time. Yeah, because they said you can only use the idol
till the final 5.
So there's 6 now.
Yeah. Well, there's 5 now after Q got voted out. So if they put it back in the game, it would have to be played that tribal council.
Well, here's the thing. Not to harp on this. Maria is the only one that knows it's back.
If she searches. I don't know if they're going to hide it again. For one round, you think they're going to re-hide it for one round?
Man, that would be spicy.
We'll have to wait and see. But what I was getting to is not only is that a record, but Maria is getting very, very close to tying a record. I was looking at the numbers earlier. I'm going to have to spend some more time investigating, doing some research on the official numbers. So Maria won her 3rd individual immunity of the season. And everyone's like, Maria Challenge Beast? That's what happens when you vote out. That's what they've been doing. We have to vote this person out because they're good at challenges. We have to vote this person out. Why aren't we targeting Maria? Maria's been kicking ass at these challenges all season. But she won her 3rd.
Charlie's been winning. That's what I think. It's Charlie been winning. She's been winning. I think it's kind of
back and forth. Well, she just won her 3rd individual immunity, which I looked puts her tied for 19th on the list. If she wins one more, if she gets that 4th individual immunity, she'll be tied for 7th all time. So, Abraham, I'll let you take it away. I'll let you say what you thought about the immunity challenge. Let me do a little. I'm going to go to True Dork, which times.com. Go check them out. They have stats for every Survivor season. They keep it's basically like if there's any sports fans watching and you want to look up a player's stats, you can go look up Survivor stats. Oh, yeah. If you've never been to TrueDorkTimes.com, there's, Abraham, I could pull up your stats.
No, I know my own stats, man. Stop that.
You don't want me to say it in front of everybody as well.
Pull up my next stats from season 50, then we can talk.
All right, so here it is. Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. So the person who holds the record, you could also see these stats. I kind of copy and pasted. They're all on SurvivorNowPodcast.com. So if you want to see these stats and you don't want to go to True Dork Times, just head over to SurvivorNowPodcast.com and we have the stats there. Abraham, do you know who has the all-time record for most individual immunity challenge wins in one season?
Is it Stephanie? No,
it is not
Stephanie. It's
as soon as I say it, you're going to be like, "Oh yeah." Okay, I'm going to say it. It's Terry Dietz, Survivor Panama Exile Island. He holds the record. Out of 12 challenges, he won 8 of them.
Dietz.
That's the all-time record in a single season. Behind him, you've got Colby with 7. And then you have Ozzy with 6. Mike Holloway with 6. And then there's a huge tie between Brian Heidick, Tom Westman, Boston Rob, Bob Crowley, Brad Culpepper, Lex, Chrissy, Kim, Kelly, Rick Devens. They all have 5. And then if you look at people with 4, which is who Maria would be tying, so it's a little farther back. If she wins one more, gets her 4th individual immunity challenge win, Maria will be tying from the new era, Ricard. Ricard had 4. She would be tying Ricard, Eric, Joe, JT, Fabio, Boston Rob, John Cochran, Tony Vlachos, Malcolm, Michelle Fitzgerald, Ken, almost done, Kathy, Jenna Marasco, Matt from the Amazon, Rafe, and the great Keith Nail. They all won 4 individual challenges in their season, which would put her tied for, if I'm looking here, if you just count the 4, that puts her tied for 15th place with all those people. So little stats for you guys. That's what's at stake here. And there's 2 more. There's 2 more individual challenges this season. So she has the chance to get up to 5. Obviously, it's harder with a 26-day game to. I mean, how many individual challenges has there been this season? 8 or 9?
You only get them at the merge, and the merge is early. But even just to be able to go out there and successfully navigate a challenge and mentally and physically be able to overcome it, she's still doing. I mean, that you putting in work, and you putting in work with less energy, less focus. And that's why you see multiple people going through the challenge and not completing it at the end. Because technically, last episode, Venus should have been the winner.
Mm-hmm.
She got to the end of that particular puzzle and just couldn't put the ball in the hole. It literally hit one side and bounced onto the other. So you got to, when you playing, you got to have some fortitude. And Maria and Charlie right now are the best options to win these last 2 challenges. But I'm going with Maria's going to win the next 2.
Wow, you're saying she gets up to 5.
I'll say this right here. If they put the immunity idol back in play, Maria finds the immunity idol, plays it, and then she wins the last challenge. That's it.
I was just gonna say, add on to that fact. I was doing a little bit more research. If Maria won today's challenge and all the other times she could have won individual immunity, the game's obviously shortened now, and the record is Terry Dietz. He won 8 in one season. If Maria has won, what'd you say?
I don't think we have. We don't have enough time to even get 8.
Well, I was gonna say that. So his record is 8. You can still tie his record because if she's won every opportunity so far this season, if I counted correctly, this would have been her 6th individual immunity win. Let's say she won every single one. She never lost. And then you have 2 more after this because you have 2 next episode. So it is still possible to tie Terry's record, but you can only tie it in the new era.
Look, if you got a player for all you players that's coming up, if somebody wins 3 or 4 in a row, they need to be on the next vote out list. They ain't gonna never get the 8. If they win 6 and you don't vote them out, you deserve to be voted out. I'm voting out anybody with a track record above 2.
Yeah, Terry Dietz, his record might be permanently
not until late. You need to have a separate category. So the new era sits in their own stats because you can't compete with the old stats. You just don't have enough time.
I get what you're saying, but that's not how it works. Like they're all Survivor stats. Like this is the website, by the way. If anyone is interested in going and checking out stats and seeing all this stuff, truedorktimes.com. Sorry, I got on a huge rambling thing there. I'm shocked that we still have all our viewers. I thought I was going to come back and we'd have like 2 people left because people would be like, why do we care about this? Abraham, do you have it written down?
I wrote it down, man. I can look it up later.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is the dolphin puzzle is something we've never seen before. I loved it. Maria.
No. Yes, we have. Invert the dolphin puzzle. It's the opposite. Yeah, but it wasn't like it was. It wasn't a base and then a dolphin puzzle. I thought the puzzle was inverted where the dolphin was hanging and coming and you had to put it together. I could be wrong, but here's the thing. Here's where Ben lost me at. Ben, you are ahead. You literally just got to match up colors. You just got to find the piece that has the right colors. And Ben has the tail of his dolphin done. Maria finishes the base, and then she has that one little piece. Then she puts that next little piece. And then Q just said, I'm done with this anyway. I'm just going to watch Maria. Charlie says, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. I can't catch her, so I'm going to sit back here. But then Ben was like, man, let me see what she's doing. Ben, you could have won. You literally.
He had the lead, but he just lost it when it got to the dolphin part.
You just matching the color tiles. All you got to do, it's not that many of them that's going to be matching that's going to fit. All you had to do is pick up and try them all when Maria was still trying to build her base. And I looked at Ben and I was like, is he stopping? Nah, he's slowing down. Wait a minute. He watching. I said, well, and Q was like, I'm done. I ain't going to even try. Now, for all you balance beam folks, I guarantee in the game of Survivor, there will be a balance beam. I'd like to give a shout out to Tiffany at this time and that balance beam. That balance beam.
He's not talking Tiffany from this season. He's talking Tiffany from my season 41. Yeah.
My season. I'll see you next week, Tiffany. But that balance beam is a beast. So when people falling in, it was like, why they falling in? Wait till you get to the balance beam. But I'm with you. I love the puzzle. I love the fact that it was a dolphin puzzle. I'm just trying to kind of amaze at if you got a lead, don't worry about the person next to you. Just keep working on your puzzle. Had Ben kept working on his puzzle, I guarantee he would have won that one. Because
Ben hasn't been in contests to win in immunity all season. No. And it looked like he was going to win this before Maria started like loading it up.
You know who jinxed him? Messy Jeff. Jeff was this is the first win for Ben all season.
Abraham, I'm going to put you in a situation, and this might be recency bias. Who would you take in a challenge? Maria or Franny from Survivor 44?
Franny, stop playing.
Franny is a monster at challenges.
Look, I've talked to Franny. Here's the thing. No, it's just 2 different people. 2 different people, but Franny came.
Okay, what if I threw Jonathan in there?
First of all, Jonathan stepped on me me and Jonathan, Mike, Nasir, and Alex from Naked and Afraid. We're playing basketball at the charity event in a pool. Man, Jonathan was killing us.
Abraham won't. By the way, anytime we hang out, Abraham won't like actually play basketball with me. I think he's scared.
I don't know about that part. My hoop shoes in my bag right now. I can take them right now. We go play. No, but we played, and it was a Jonathan is just built to, and we just didn't have and Nasir can't play basketball, so that made it worse. And Alex, we almost drowned him, but then Mike was playing dirty, so it was a lot of fun. But I told him I'd never play with him, none of them again, not in no pool.
I could see Mike playing dirty. We've covered a lot from this episode, Abraham. There was one thing earlier about Charlie that I didn't get to. he had a really, really good move tonight. And it was a lot of people are going to be like, Randy, what are you talking about? This wasn't a good move, because they're going to say it could have cost him, and it could have. But him telling Maria about the vote is being on Q. Yes, if Maria went to Q and said, hey, the vote's on you, play your idol tonight, it could have blown up in his face. But this is such a good move. We saw Charlie say, in the game of Survivor, this is why you never close a door. Never close an option. Because let's say Maria did think, I want to make a move on Charlie. She did say this. I never think Charlie is going to make the move on me. When Charlie goes up to her and says, hey, let's make this move on, he goes up and says, hey, the plan tonight is cute. Just wanted to let you know. I think going into next week, I think Maria, now she was left out of the vote, so now she's going to see it. But that is a way for you to keep the trust with Maria. Hey, I told you the vote's going to be Q. And I mean, even going into next week, he can say that. Maria, I told you the vote was going to be Q. You tried to get, you tried to make a move on me. So Charlie now can be like, yo, I see where you are aligned. I see where your head is. I just thought overall this was, I think Charlie was the player of the episode. I think he outsmarted Maria in this episode.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, two things. The first thing is the line drawn in the sand right now. You're too late in the game to try to make a move.
Oh yeah, this is all out war. Going there,
you went for me. Now we basically, but they knew they had to eventually come for each other. So good gameplay. Second thing is Charlie getting credit for the move? He wasn't. I guarantee if you got a Liz or if you got a Kenzie sitting on that bottom three on the three, they're going to take credit for that move for Q. Because Liz, if you go back and look at the end part, Liz was like, I finally got him. Kenzie was like, I finally got him. Where does that leave Charlie at to say he did anything in that vote except for what he was doing with Maria following? So I don't think he's going to be able to get credit for that if any of those two are sitting there. So it's going to be kind of interesting. And if he's still sitting next to Maria, he even if you say you want to take credit for the Q vote, guess who's sitting in the jury? Q. So guess where that vote's going? Q is only going to vote if Maria is in one of the three. Q is only going to vote for Maria. That's the thing about it is,
I think he voted for Kenzie. No. I'm feeling more and more confident about a Kenzie win. Go ahead and finish up what you're saying, Abraham, because we're gonna talk about who could win here in a second.
If you got Maria, Kenzie, and we'll say Charlie sit next to each other. Q getting his vote to Maria. And the reason being is he played with her. They voted together. They had strategy together. He did nothing with Kenzie. And he's going to be like, well, Kenzie voted me out, which was a good move. Don't get me wrong. I think they got more history with those two. Now, who got voted out for Venus? Ooh.
Well, hold on. So we'll go through the jury here. Let's look at the final five. Okay. So we have, I'm going to go through them here. We have the emotional Liz, who a lot of people, if Liz somehow ends up winning this season, they're going to be, are you writing this down?
0 votes.
If Liz ends up winning this season, a lot of people are going to be frustrated, but I remind you guys that Liz, unfortunately, the edit hasn't done her well. Yes, a lot of people see her as like an emotional wreck at times, but I think she's played a solid game. We saw Tevin go up to her very early on in this game and say, hey, this is the move I think we should make, meaning that she had that social connection with Tevin. She had that social connection with Hunter. I think she's kind of, I'm not saying she's Erica, but in the same sense of when Erica won, everyone was pissed because we didn't see the game that Erica played. I think Liz is in a similar position as that. So you have Liz. You have Maria, who has been the dominant factor. There's going to be a lot of people mad if Maria does not win. She is the favorite going into the finale. You have Charlie, who has been Maria's right-hand man. They described Charlie tonight as the lovable dog, Kenzie did, of the group. Super lovable. Everybody loves the guy. If he makes it to the end, he's going to be very hard to beat just because everybody loves him. He's such a great dude. He's a great speaker. You have Kenzie, who had to navigate the trials and tribulations of the Yanu tribe at the very beginning, getting past Banu, getting past
Hold on, Randy. Look, wait a minute, hold on, Randy. Did Ben not say when they were sitting there talking together, the only vote she's gotten against her this season was because of Ben?
Yeah, yep. That ruins.
Never any threat. She was never even any
that
threat.
ruins her perfect game. We saw Kinsey work with Tiffany. She got blindsided when Tiffany left the game, which is a move she wanted to make anyways. But Kinsey, much like Charlie, very lovable person, very likable. And then finally, you have Ben, who, much like Liz, has not got the edit this season. If Liz or Ben wins, a lot of people are going to be, no, Abraham, you know that's bias. I know you love Ben. I know he's your winner pick, and he's still in the game. But you have to admit, the dude has not got an edit. Like, I was watching the episode tonight, and I was like, oh, yeah, Ben's still in the game. He just hasn't got that, like, dominant player edit. So that's your final five. Liz, Ben, Kinsey, Charlie, Maria. So let's try to figure this out, Abraham, because I'll get to talk to you a little bit.
Just pick 3.
Oh, Charlie, okay. Charlie and Maria are not making it to the end together. They will not make it. One of them is, I think they're going to battle each other at fire. If Maria doesn't get voted out, honestly, okay. Sorry, let me gather myself.
You still don't want to pick them 3, do you? Just go and pick them 3. It don't make no difference what 3 it is. Just pick 3.
Let me gather myself. Maria's going to win the next immunity challenge. Okay. Then that's going to cause Liz to go home.
You think they would take Liz out versus Charlie?
I didn't before tonight's no. I don't think Kinsey and Liz and Ben are going to turn on Charlie, because Maria's going to have to get at least 3 of them to turn on Charlie. I don't see that happening. I don't see Liz voting Charlie. I don't see
do anything.
If Maria wins immunity, she's got one number. Maybe she can convince Ben to vote Charlie. I don't see Liz.
No, she ain't got to convince nobody. She can just sit back and see what happens.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, you said you think they would choose them over Charlie. Okay. If Maria wins immunity at the next tribal council, which I think, or not tribal council, at the next challenge, which I think is going to happen. I think she's going to win the next immunity.
I'm going to go with you now.
Then I think it's going to come down to Liz or Ben, because I think Charlie wants to keep Kinsey in the game. I think Kinsey's his new number 1. So, and before tonight's episode, I would have thought that Ben is the next vote. But I saw that connection. Charlie pulls Ben aside and says, hey, we can't leave Q. You know, we got to let Maria know about Q, because then Maria could team up with the girls, do like a girls thing, and vote one of us out next, which shows me that Ben and Charlie are closer than I originally thought. So I think Liz, if they can't vote Maria, Kinsey, Charlie, and Ben would vote Liz out of the game. I know a lot of people think she's making it to the finale as a 0-vote finalist. That leaves us to the final 4. This is my official predictions. I think at that point, it's up to Ben. I don't feel 1,000% confident on this, because this means Ben or Kinsey has to win immunity, and they've consistently been the worst. But I want to say I could see Charlie and Maria going to fire together, but I'm going to change it up, because I don't see one of those 2 winning immunity. I don't see Kinsey or Ben to send them the fire. Charlie wins the final immunity challenge. He takes Ben. Kinsey and Maria have to make fire.
Who's going to be the winner? Pick somebody.
Kinsey pulls off the upset. Kinsey, Ben, Charlie in the final 3.
Charlie wins.
I was just about to say, I want to say Kinsey wins, but at that point, I think Charlie would win. And honestly, I've talked myself out of it. Just so you guys know, we don't plan this show. I just made that off the top of my head of what I thought was going to happen. They were talking about Maria's fire making skills this episode.
Hey, look, so she ain't worried about fire. Here's the thing about it is, here's a different scenario.
Maria's winning this season. I changed my pick, because if
Maria
she
wins the next immunity,
fire,
here's the Maria wins the next immunity and becomes a swing vote for whoever wants to vote whoever out, because it makes no difference. It makes no difference, because she doesn't have the power to dictate who's going to vote out. So she wins immunity. Let's say Liz and Kinsey, they team up and say, hey, we're going to take Ben out. And Ben hears about it, and Ben be like, no. So Maria's a swing vote. Next person up. They vote whoever they vote out. We don't care who they vote out. They vote somebody out. Now we go into the next immunity challenge. If she wins the next immunity challenge, it doesn't make a difference. Either way it goes, she just got to get past.
I think Charlie's winning the last immunity challenge. I think Maria's winning the next one. Charlie wins the one after that. Maria's definitely going to have to make fire. I think it's going to be Kenzie and Maria making fire. I'm going to make a wild prediction.
It ain't going to be Liz making no fire because she already can't make fire. And they already said, look, did you see Maria making fire the other morning? First of all, hold on. I think they go back to season 41. If you go back and look at season 41, there's an episode when the seer teaches Deshaun how to make fire. And I'm sitting there asking myself, why are you trying to teach him how to make fire when you got smoldering stuff sitting right here? What fire are y'all making? Like, why y'all going a long way? But that was kind of funny one day. I don't think they can beat her in fire. And I think you just got to make it. You got to get past this next immunity challenge. Now, that's not to say if they don't put this hidden immunity item, because I heard Jeff said, and I can't remember. And he said, you can only pay it down to the final 5. If you can play that down to the final 5 and she finds that, oh, it's on like popcorn. Because now I'm blindsiding somebody. Because now I'll be like, oh, y'all know gonna vote me out. Woe is me. And I'm writing Charlie's name down. I'm writing Charlie's name down. And Charlie going that way, which is way more dramatic. And also we get to see an idol play.
I know for a fact Ben is not winning this season. I know for a fact Liz is not winning this season. I think Kenzie's winning, but from what I see on social media, the vibe that I'm getting when they go to watch parties, I'm convinced it's for sure either Charlie, Kenzie, or Maria. And I just think Maria's going to come up short. I really think Kenzie is going to win. I think this jury is going to be a petty jury, one of the most petty juries we've seen in a long time.
It's some petty people on the jury.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very, 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 very.
Let me correct that. They're petty with themselves because they've gone through this experience with themselves and they have their own reason to be petty. And we have no idea why they're petty. I just know if you go back and look at tribal councils, there's some petty people. There used to be some wild questions when it came down to who's going to win the money. And they used to be off the chain. You'd be like, damn, are they censoring this shit? But we don't know. But it's going to be kind of interesting next week when we got everybody in the same house. So whoever shows up for the finale together, when you see people together, then you kind of know who's like I met Q is the chillest dude you ever want to meet. Q, that guy, like, hey, it's whatever. Maria, the best person you ever want to meet. The best person. I mean, great spirit. Because I was standing there, I was like, I think I should know her. And she said, hey, Abraham, how you doing? I'm looking, I'm like, she looks different now.
Who's this? Maria?
Maria looks different.
Maria cleans up well.
From the show.
Very well.
Yeah, from the show. And I was like, oh, hey, Maria, how you doing? It's funny because when we see each other after the show, it's a little different. But I mean, the family is the family. You'll always be in the Survivor family.
I wish I could meet everybody. I will say I wanted to meet Venus so bad because I have a small crush on Venus.
I'll take a picture with her for you.
I have a small crush on her.
My daughter told me the other day I was talking to her. She was like, hey, you know what? You know if they Google your name comes up now?
Your name?
Yeah, if you Google me, my name comes up.
Yeah. Oh, if you Google me, I pop right up.
Oh, I don't know where to write it, man. I don't know. I never Googled your name, but I used to Google my own name back in the days just to see what pops up. But,
let's see. So Jay says, I think so too, talking about a petty jury. Also says a Kenzie petty jury, LOL. And then Jay adds, can y'all do jury scenarios for each player remaining? We can, but we're gonna wait a little. We'll give a little preview because I'll tell you why.
I can give you preview right now. Who not gonna get none?
We're gonna save our full analysis for an episode coming out later this week. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But if you look at who's on the jury, Abraham. So I'm gonna say these names. Are you ready?
I'm listening.
Out of the remaining 6 players, where would their votes go? Okay.
We're going with the first one. We're going with Soda first.
So yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Soda. Who would get Soda's vote out of the remaining 5 players? Excuse me, not 6.
So here's the thing about it. There's nobody left from Soda's tribe. So there's nobody there from her tribe to go with.
There's Liz. Liz is from her tribe.
She's not gonna vote for Liz. I say if Maria's available, it's either gonna go to Maria or Charlie.
I would agree with that. Tevin. Tevin, I think, votes Kinsey.
Look, Tevin,
Tevin votes Kinsey.
I'm gonna go with you on that one. It's either Kinsey. Wait a minute, wasn't Kinsey a part of his blind side? I'm gonna go with Kinsey.
Hunter votes Charlie.
Charlie or Maria?
Yeah, Charlie or Maria. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany is voting her girl Kinsey.
Nah, because now you know she blindsided you. So
no, Kinsey didn't.
Oh,
Kinsey was left. Yeah.
Okay,
Kinsey
okay. I'm gonna give you Kinsey.
Yeah, Tiffany votes Kinsey. Venus is voting her girl Kinsey. Abraham,
it's an X factor.
Venus is all. She's going to be the most petty on the jury, and she's for sure voting her best friend because they became besties at the end there. Her and Kinsey.
I think if Charlie's available, it's going to be Charlie. I'll give you Charlie and Kinsey.
And then you have Q.
If Maria's available, he's going
Maria. And let's see. Jay says right here, Hunter did say Kinsey was his number one.
Look.
I think this is going to be a petty jury, and I think everybody's going to vote for Kinsey because they love Kinsey. I do not think the best player is winning this season.
I'm going with the best player.
I know everybody wants to, but Abraham will not be joining me. Wait, you got it? Hold on. I'm going to solo layout you. Show it again. Did you get it?
I Googled Randy Bruce and he's right there. He comes up first. I'm not sure what he's doing with the cowboy hat, but
I will be on my own next week. Not on my own. I'm going to have someone else. The good news about me no longer going to Bryson Wynn present. Abraham, you're going to make me wait, you got the nice red suit.
That's you, man. That's
that's me at my red carpet premiere.
IMDb.
Yep. Bryson Wynn Present is live from New York City. A lot of familiar faces here. If you're going to be in New York for the finale, make sure to say hi to one of our Survivor Now analysts. Matthew is going to be there. Jack's going to be there from Stockwatch. There's a good-looking dude in the middle there. Abraham's going to be there. Kara and Tegwith. I was supposed to be there. I backed out, but we have amazing representation for Survivor Now. So go stop in. Everybody likes to say hi. Everyone loves giving pictures. Say hi, get pictures with them. We'll get them on the pre-show next week. I'm going to try to do an hour-long pre-show where we check in with all of them live from New York. So we're going to try to put that together, which is something that hasn't been done. So make sure to stop in. Say hi. There's going to be a lot of pictures. A few of them will be taking over our Instagram like usual. So you will be able to have fun with Bryson Wynn Present, even if you're not able to make it, because we're great friends with them. Absolutely devastated that I can't make it. Abraham, before I do our signing out stuff, you have something else to say?
We'll do a podcast picture of the podcast team.
Oh, yes. Please do a new podcast picture. We always get a podcast picture. Abraham, you're going to have to lead that. I'm going to text everyone. Make sure to get a picture with all 5 of you guys. Man, I really do wish I could go. But
yeah, look, for us that have been on the different shows, and it's different. Like, I mean, we have Amazing Race is going to be there. We got Big Brother is going to be in the house. We got people from Buddy Games is going to be there. We got people from
I've heard it's the largest event. I heard it's going to be the largest event ever.
It's a lot of people from different reality shows. And the good thing about Bryson Wynn, we all meet up before we go over to the venue. And then we end up we walk over to the venue together. But it gives us a chance just to talk among ourselves and see how everybody's doing and catch up. Tiffany and them will all be there for my season, so get a chance to see each other in person. Both should be there. So it's a great time to, we do the same thing. I mean, we people watch, and it's cool to meet, different people from different shows and kind of pick their brains on how their show was. So it's going to be cool to meet each other and kind of before we have to hit the crowds. And then once we hit the crowd, it's all about season 46 and, they get to sit there and do their thing. I'm pretty sure Jam is going to be there. Hey, George is going to be there because he's doing international.
A few Survivor Australian players are going to be there.
They're doing an international breakfast Tuesday morning.
International brunch, yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing that, and then you got the event where they do the panel. So what's name is going to be there from the Caleb is going to be there because I know he's going to come up there for that. So I'll see him probably Tuesday. By the time I get there Tuesday, I'll come in here Tuesday night. So I'll get there in time for karaoke. But I'll see Caleb and somebody else is there.
I mean, we're gonna be here all night, Abraham. If you list everyone, I heard it's the biggest reality star Bryson Wynn present that they've had so far. Super sad that I can't make it. Excuse me, I got to cough real quick. Still getting over my sickness, so it's not a great time for me to be going anywhere. But I know there's going to be tons of people. Don't worry, we are still going to have the recap show. I don't know if it's going to happen on Wednesday night. I got to find a guest to take Abraham's spot. A lot of people are going to be at watch parties all over the place, but I have someone in mind, so I just got to reach out to them. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast, and we will inform you when our coverage will take place. I don't know if our coverage will take place Wednesday night because it is such a long episode. The episode doesn't end until after the live after show at like 11 p.m. So I don't know if we're going to do anything Wednesday night, but you can bet Thursday night Survivor Social we'll have stuff going on. But make sure our coverage for today's episode is not over yet. Make sure to join the Survivor Social crew tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Tegwith and Kara are going to break down the latest episode from a social aspect. They're going to crown the latest social butterfly, talk about all the social moves we saw, which a lot happened. So make sure to tune into that 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. And then on Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, join Jack and Will as they return. They missed last week, but they are here to show their drafts, talk about the Edgic, and so much more on Survivor Stockwatch, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. On Saturday, make sure to join Phil, Ollie, and Matthew for Got Something For You. It's our last recap show of the week. Last week, they were joined by Todd Herzog. Survivor Social was joined by Brian Corden from Survivor Guatemala. Make sure to go back and rewatch those. And then, Jay, this is for you. I know you're still watching, Jay. You asked to break down everybody's game. Well, we have taken it because they don't do it on Survivor anymore. We have taken it as our own, the rites if you remember what it used to be, you used to pay respect to all of those who fell before you, and that's what we are going to be doing. It is currently scheduled it is currently scheduled for Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It is subject to change, but myself, maybe a couple other analysts from Survivor Now, will go back and look at every single player's game. We will break down whether they were a great player, an okay player, a bad player, all the moves that happened, and then we will take an in-depth look at the final five and try to break down who is winning this game. So make sure to tune in for that. And then on May 27th, Monday, May 27th, it's the Monday after the finale, we will have an extensive talk about what is Australian Survivor doing. They're doing 2 seasons next year. One of them is a newbie season, Brains versus Bronze 2, and the other one is Australia versus America. We will have an in-depth discussion, maybe a few guests from Australia to give their opinions on it. So make sure to tune into that. And then also, the off season is coming up. We've got some great stuff planned, but this got pushed back. It's probably going to happen in the off season. We will have a long podcast discussing who we think it will return for season 50 of Survivor. There's a good looking guy up there in the corner right there.
Where'd you get these pictures, bro? Because some of these people don't even like to see them. Well, anyway.
I steal them. Don't say anything.
I'll need you to update these pictures, man.
We have Abraham. He got bored, hopped on YouTube himself. It's always so much fun. Old School Finance with Abraham and friends. Make sure to tune into that. Abraham has another podcast going on, so make sure to tune in. And then Jay, yay, can't wait for the Rites of Passage. It's always one of my favorite shows. Abraham, we're not going to get the chance to speak next week because you're going to be in New York, my friend. It has been a wonderful season of coverage. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I talk to you on the pre-show next week?
Let me tell you something, man. Randy Bruce has put together a phenomenal platform of different podcast crew. It's 6 of us, and we run different podcasts. Man, I get a chance to come over here.
There's 9 of us.
There's 9 of us. There's 9 of us. Oh yeah, because what's the name was in LA. But we get a chance to come over here and talk about something that we enjoy, Survivor. And it's just been a pleasure, man. I mean, we started back in 41. Who would have thought that in 41, that 46, we'll still be doing this and still talking about different seasons of Survivor and going to different events and meeting some of the players and stuff like that. So it's always a great season, man. I enjoy it. Next year, Randy Bruce will be at the kickoff for season 47.
Oh, is that confirmed? Randy Bruce is trying to move to Atlanta.
Randy Bruce, it might be in Atlanta. Who knows? Randy Bruce will be at season 47, man. And
I'll be going to some of it at 47. I missed a lot of. I was supposed to go to Chicago, got sick. I was supposed to go to New York. I'm saving up to move out. There was a lot of events that Randy Bruce was supposed to go to this year that I just could not make it out.
So, but for all the fans out there, Randy Bruce will be back. For those that are in New York next week, come out. We're going to have a great time. But this has been a great opportunity just to kind of enjoy watching Survivor, talk about Survivor, and just meeting everybody. Oh, and next season, for everybody who wants to jump on the pre-show, some of y'all going to be on the pre-show. We're going to bring y'all onto the pre-show and add a little bit of flavor to it. So I think we're still looking for the one person that said we was, what did they call us?
You were Mike Tyson.
Yeah, we're looking for you. So we'll be looking for you next season to come on the podcast. Yeah, you can come on the podcast next year. We're going to set it up where the guests can come on. And Randy has no idea what I just said about that. But anyway,
that's going to be our first. That's going to be the first season that we do the pre-show for the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a great time. Me and Randy will see each other still regardless, but it's been a great opportunity just to grow and see the podcast grow. Continue to subscribe. Let's push the podcast up to 2,000 subscriptions. This year it made it to 1,000 subscription, which was great. A lot of work goes into this.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Our next stepping stone milestone, thank you, is getting to 2,000 followers on Instagram. We are almost to 1,800, so we're just over 200 away from getting to 2,000 followers on Instagram.
Let me give a shout out to Tegwit. She got 10,000 followers on TikTok. Yes. Congratulations, Tegwit. I mean, just an amazing person on an amazing platform. And I love watching her. I'll go through TikTok and I'll see her, and just amazing works, and great to have her on the team. First drink is on me when I see you next week.
Tegwith is going to get so big one day that she's just going to leave us, Abraham. You know that, right?
Oh, let me tell you something. Besides you, Will, I would love to see Tegwith on a season of Survivor. Oh, we would look.
Wait, you said besides me, or you said besides you, Will? Were you talking to me or Will?
Will is on the team. I said besides you, Will, you and Will.
Me and Will. Man,
if Tegwith got picked to be on the season, I'll be like, yeah, we talked about this. I'm not really sure why she did.
Who do you have going further, me or Tegwith?
Tegwith. You ain't got the killer instinct. You want to give up your food. You want to trade out immunity. I mean, you be doing all kind of stuff in the Phantom Zone. I don't know.
Let me know in the comments, everybody watching this, who you think would go further. Myself, who you probably barely know, or Tegwith, who has grown into one of the largest Survivor superstars on social media. I feel like people might be a little biased, but I want to hear who you think would go further.
You know what? I wish they would do an episode where they took all y'all social media lights and y'all went on to play Survivor and be like, hey, what social media platform you on? This is a real life Survivor.
Abraham, you always tell me that I'm like I'm a Survivor person now. I'm part of the family. I've grown into
you're a real good guy.
A well-known person. I don't think so. I'm not as well known as Tegwith. She is a superstar. She
got 10,000 followers. She said 3 years. It took her 3 years to get 10,000 followers. But
that is insane.
If you've never seen her on TikTok, she does an amazing job on TikTok with different things. She's so animated and funny. So if you never seen her, just go check her out. She's on TikTok and she does some great content, spoilers, all kind of good cool stuff. But We will all be in the same place next week.
I'm gonna leave it with this. Jay said, "I don't know. Maybe you, Randy." He knows.
First of all, Jay said, "I don't know." So Jay started to send us all correctly. He don't know.
He knows. He knows. We'll leave it at that. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Spotify, leave us a rating. We really do appreciate it. It helps us get out there to more viewers. Oh, wow, I butchered that. And we will catch you guys next week. I will. Abraham won't. He will be in New York City.